TV.
Good evening to you all. Welcome to the MMU TV News. I am Natasha Kombo and these are our headlines.
Major bus stages across Nairobi remained crowded yesterday after matatus failed to operate following the strike called by drivers and private vehicle owners.
Sisi tulifanya makosa na mnisamehe. Tulikuwa natafuta kiongozi tukachagua mfanyabiashara.
Unajua kuna majamaa wengine wanazunguka huku sisi ndio tulibeba Ruto kwa mgongo.
During a public gathering over the weekend, Gachagua claimed the current administration abandoned the promises to voters during the 2022 general elections manifestos.
Sisi tunaambiwa vizuri mtoto alianguka kwa choo asubuhi.
Witnesses say the grade 3 pupil fell into pit latrine during the lunch break after part of the structure reportedly collapsed. Rescue efforts by teachers and residents lasted nearly an hour before the child was retrieved.
Qatar, one of the world's largest exporters of liquefied natural gas, has seen its energy industry severely.
Carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities.
Escape damage have been forced to shut down because tankers cannot move through the closed strait. President Trump has warned that a ceasefire deal with Iran is, in its words, on life.
Now we are dealing with the issue of Ebola. Ebola is a very critical emergency because it's happening in DRC Congo and Uganda. Over 200 people have so far lost their lives.
The health of the individual should be your responsibility. My health is my responsibility. That's why I'm saying we should minimize or stop essential travel to Ituri, for example, to the western part of the border between Uganda and DRC.
Kenyan health authorities have intensified screening at airports and border points after neighboring countries reported cases of Ebola. The Ministry of Health says rapid response teams activated to monitor and contain any spread of.
Thousands of commuters were yesterday stranded after drivers and car owners staged a strike in Nairobi and other towns over rising fuel prices and transport costs. The protest disrupted public transport and services for hours. Our reporter Peter Wainaina will tell us more.
Major bus stages across Nairobi remained crowded yesterday after matatus failed to operate following the strike called by drivers and private vehicle owners. Transport operators claim that the continuous increase in fuel prices has made it difficult for them to sustain daily business operations. Police officers were deployed in several parts of the city to monitor the demonstration and maintain order as commuters struggle to find alternative transport. Reporting for MMU TV, I'm Peter Wainaina.
A family in Mombasa County is mourning the death of an 8-year-old pupil who reportedly fell into a pit latrine at a local primary school earlier today. The tragic incident has sparked fresh concerns over the safety of sanitation facilities in public schools. Our reporter, Movin Odhiambo, has more.
Rescue efforts by teachers and residents lasted nearly an hour before the child was retrieved. Police officers and educational officials later arrived at the school and launched investigations into the incident. Reporting for MMU News, I'm Movin Odhiambo.
The Ministry of Health has heightened surveillance across the country following an Ebola outbreak reported in some parts of Central and Eastern Africa. Although no case has been confirmed in Kenya, health officials say the country remains on high alert. Our reporter Noel Ondisa has more.
Kenyan health authorities have intensified screening at airports and border points after neighboring countries reported cases of Ebola.
They were isolated, they were assessed, and they were tested for Ebola virus disease, with all the results returning negative. 4 additional contacts who accompanied them to hospital were also tested, assessed, and found negative.
The Ministry of Health says rapid response
teams have activated to monitor and contain any spread of disease. Officials are urging Kenyans to remain calm but vigilant and seek medical attention if they get any symptoms such as fever, vomiting, diarrhea, or severe headache. Reporting from MMU TV, I'm Noel Ondisa.
Political temperatures are rising across the country after the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua launched scathing attacks against the administration he once served. More from our reporter Cecilia Faith.
Sisi tulifanya makosa na mnisamehe. Tulikuwa natafuta kiongozi tukachagua mfanyabiashara. Huyu sasa amenyang'anya wa biashara wote biashara Kenya. Ako kwa kila sekta ya biashara. One, ameingia manufacturing. Ako na kampuni mbili manufacturing steel.
Speaking during a public gathering over the weekend, Gachagua claimed the current administration abandoned the promises to voters during the 2022 general elections manifestos, which is frustrating to leaders that are allied to him. The remarks have triggered the sharp reactions from Kenya Kwanza leaders who defended President William Ruto during administration and dismissed Gachagua's statement as premature 27 campaigns.
Mimi nataka niwaulize watu wa Nyeri, urafiki hii tumetengeneza pamoja na nyinyi. Si mimi nilikuwa naibu wa rais wa Uhuru Kenyatta? Si nilikuja hapa mara nyingi? Uhuru Kenyatta akiwa amenituma. Si tukajenga urafiki? Na urafiki hiyo italetwa kasheshe na mtu mmoja? Hapana, ikae namna hiyo.
Political analyst says this is ruling coalition could significantly reshape alliances, particularly within the vote-rich Mount Kenya region.
Ameingilia mambo ya banking. Amenunua benki inaitwa Sidian, ambaye pesa yote ya housing, affordable housing, pesa ya SHA, County Government of Nairobi, ametoa hiyo pesa yote kwa mabenki ya serikali kama KCB na National Bank, ameweka kwa Sidian Bank. Hiyo bank every day inatengeneza faida ya 21 million. Na nia yake ni kupeleka pesa yote ya serikali Sidian Bank ndio auwe benki zote za serikali ikuwe benki yake ndio imesimama.
The question still is, are the Mount Kenya people going to align with President William Samoei Ruto during the 2027 general elections? Reporting live from the Multimedia University TV, I'm your presenter, Cecilia Faith.
The closure of the Strait of Hormuz continues to rattle global energy markets with major consequences for oil-producing nations. Masi Mukuna tells us more.
So the most important issue right now is the question of trust. We cannot trust Americans at all. So everything should be exact. Everything should be defined very clearly before we can conclude a deal.
The Strait of Hormuz remains closed following the US-Iran military confrontation, triggering alarm along global energy giants. Saudi Aramco has warned of the catastrophic consequences for world oil supply unless the waterway is urgently reopened.
For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing off their legs with roadside bombs. That was their specialty. We lost over 1,000 people, and hundreds of thousands throughout the Middle East and around the world have died as a direct result of their hate. In particular, so many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time ago that I would not let this happen. It will not continue. I want to thank and congratulate Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu. We worked as a team like perhaps no team has ever worked before. And we've gone a long way to erasing this horrible threat to Israel. I want to thank the Israeli military for the wonderful job they've done. And most importantly, I want to congratulate the great American patriots who flew those magnificent machines tonight, and all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades.
Qatar, one of the world's largest exporters of liquefied natural gas, has seen its energy industry severely crippled.
Solution achieved.
Even facilities that escaped damage have been forced to shut down because tankers cannot move through the closed strait. President Trump has warned that a ceasefire deal with Iran is, in its words, on life support. Reporting for MMU TV, Masi Mukuna, Nairobi.
The government has unveiled a new housing subsidy initiative aimed at enabling low-income earners to own their homes. Our very own Billy Otieno with the news.
Today we are doing many things. In fact, I did send a proposal to Treasury that because we have found a way to do many other things differently from how we have done it before, we found a way of how to build our infrastructure without burdening our budget. We are building Mau Summit Road without our budget. I told them it's time for us to look at how we can slow down on especially the low-income earners and remove some taxes from them.
Under the scheme, eligible Kenyans earning below 30,000 Kenyan shillings, the government have introduced a subsidy that 30% of the subsidy will be used to purchase the units. The Ministry of Housing says the program targets to construct 50,000 units by the end of next year. Critics, however, says the program may not reach the most vulnerable if its strict eligibility criteria are maintained. Reporting for MMU TV, I am Joe Billy Otieno.
We are taking a short commercial break. We'll be back shortly.
Introducing new Sunlight with smartphone technology. With the fragrance you love, but foam that now washes away in up to half the rinsing. So you spend less effort rinsing and your time doing the things you love. The brighter side of washing with smartphone.
You know poop is coming, but you know you have nothing to fear. Pampers Swaddlers with new blowout barrier helps prevent up to 100% of leaks, even blowouts. Don't fear blowouts with Pampers Swaddlers.
Welcome back.
The government has declared a national drought emergency in 5 counties in the north of the country. Peter Maunda with more information.
Turkana, Marsabit, Mandera, Wajir, and Garissa County have been hit highest by the prolonged dry spell, leaving 2 million people in urgent need of food aid.
Women begin their walk.
What we cannot measure, we cannot manage.
The National Drought Management Authorities say water sources have been dried up and livestock deaths are rising. Relief agencies are calling for immediate intervention from both the government and the donor parts and the partners. Reporting to you live, I'm Peter Maunda, MMU TV.
In matters business, we begin at Nairobi Securities Exchange, where financial markets are experiencing mixed reactions tonight. Our reporter Sharon Modhoni gives us more information.
Safaricom shares remain in focus at the Nairobi Security Exchange after the company posted record profits earlier this month.
The biggest concern that we must have as Kenyans is the valuation at which the government is proposing to exit 15% stake in Safaricom. Because they want to sell per share at 34 shillings. And if you look at the recent past, including last week, Safaricom share touched even 30, past 30 last week. But in the last 5 years, and especially in 2021, Safaricom's share was above 45 shillings in August of 2021. And when you are valuing on how to buy or sell a company, you as the seller must get the best deal in terms of the price. But it looks like the people who are representing the people of Kenya in government, in this discussion and sale, they actually sided with the buyers.
Despite the strong earnings reports, the company's stock prices has experienced fluctuations as investors continue to react to market conditions and rising inflation concerns.
2022. But the government had to wait until we are near elections to beat the drums. The government should actually be apologizing to the people of Kiambu for delaying the road for 3 years.
Meanwhile, banking stocks have recorded strong performance at the NSE, led by Cooperative Bank and other major lenders. Analysts say investors are shifting attention from telecommunication to banking shares as interest rates continue to rise. In the startup sector, Kenya continues to strengthen its reputation as one of Africa's leading innovation hubs. Released this year shows that Kenya attracted nearly $1 billion in startup funding, while climate technology, fintech companies receiving the largest investments. That's your business update this evening. I've been your host, Sharon Muthoni, and thank you for tuning in to our channel.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations has arrested 20 suspects in a major crackdown on online financial fraud. More from our very own Ahmed Kimido.
The DCI says the suspects were running a fake investment platform that defrauded Kenyans over 200 million shillings. Raids were conducted in counties like Nairobi, Mombasa, and Nakuru simultaneously. The suspect faced charges under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act and could be sentenced to up to 10 years in prison. It's me, Ahmed Kimido, reporting for MMU TV.
Excitement continues to build in Tokyo ahead of the weekend's international football clash between the heavyweights Brazil and Japan. Fans have been gathering in large numbers around the national stadium as both squads complete their final training sessions ahead of the big match. Our sports correspondent reports from Tokyo. Full information by our reporter Abdiaziz Hassan.
The atmosphere here in Tokyo is electric. Brazil enters the game boasting a star-studded lineup featuring several world-class players, including dynamic forward Vinicius Junior. Meanwhile, the host nation Japan is expected to lean heavily on midfielder maestro Takefusa Kubo as their key tactical player. Football analysts say they're high profile with a crucial opportunity to test tactical formation and squad depth ahead of upcoming international competition.
Even if I miss, I will shoot. I was the first one to show that I miss, but I'm not gonna shy away. I'm gonna be here. I'm never gonna shy away. Never.
The economic impact is already being felt locally. Businesses and hotels across the Tokyo are reporting a massive surge in activity and booking as international and domestic supporters continue arriving in the city ahead of kickoff. Reporting for MMU TV Sports, Abdiaziz Hassan.
That's all for our news bulletin today. On behalf of the MMU News team, I am Natasha.